Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Guide to Infinite List Growth, how to build your business and your revenue through gifting. I want to welcome you to this webinar. I'm going to start a screen share real fast and we'll go to some slides so that you get the full presentation today. It's going to be a short webinar, only about 30 minutes. And again, as you can see from the title, how to build your business and your revenue through gifting. But before we get started, I do want to be clear that this is not a webinar about creating a charity or a nonprofit. I'm not talking about that kind of gifting. Today, what we're going to be talking about is giveaways, which I'll define more thoroughly a bit later. So if you're interested in growing your business, you're in the right place. So first, allow me to introduce myself and perhaps give you a quick reason or two as to why you should trust me. I'm Michael Neely, and entrepreneurs have been hiring me for years now to support them in many aspects of their business. One of the more prominent areas being podcasting, which I've been teaching for nearly a decade now, and I've written an international bestseller on the topic. And even though my degrees, oddly enough, are in acting, and I did that professionally for 20 years, I've also been an entrepreneur for most of my life, supporting my acting career with my own businesses instead of waiting tables. And my latest venture into this online and coaching space occurred about 10 years ago when I had a high-tech startup company and we hit the end of our financial runway well before the product actually took off. And in hindsight, it was truly a blessing because I wasn't doing what I loved. I was just kind of chasing the dollar. And what I really love is being of service in the world, and specifically in helping heart-centered entrepreneurs in building their business. And fortunately, as luck would have it, I got into podcasting around that time, and that took me down the path I'm on now. And I have the privilege of helping visionary solopreneurs to launch their successful shows. And as you can see here from the presentation screen, that I host several of my own shows. And it was while coaching my clients on methods of monetization that several of them asked me how I ran my giveaways, which was a successful way that I'd been growing my list for quite a while. So I decided to start training them on doing their own giveaways. And I even created 3-day retreats where we built out the giveaway together. And it was at one of these retreats when a particular client sighed and said, this is just so much work. Can't I just pay you to do it for me? And it was at that moment that an idea occurred to me. And so I told them, well, no, but how about I do it for you for free? And I then went on to explain to her that the fees that she would normally collect from the contributors would be what paid me for the work. See, my team could run the giveaway with minimal effort because we had a lot of experience and all of the necessary tech already set up. So it'd really be relatively easy. And all she would need to do was to find the contributing experts willing to jump in and play. And frankly, that part was easy. And so since then, I've run hundreds of giveaways and I continue to refine the way that we do them. And I learn more every step of the way. But before I get too deep into the weeds of it all, I just want to check in real fast with everyone. How many of you have a list of over 1,000? By the way, there's some of the giveaways that I've run there, just a quick flash of a few of the hundreds that I've run. But back to the question, how many of you have a list of over 1,000? And how many of you have a list of over 5,000? Okay, and what about over 10,000? Okay, and while these numbers are great, and I appreciate you putting in or responding to these in the chat, the bigger question that I have, though, is how many of you, regardless of your number right now, have grown your list by more than 4,000 in the last year? Fantastic. All right. Thanks for letting me know that information. Because one of the first people that I started following when I got into this business was Jeff Walker. Maybe some of you have heard of him. And I want to share with you a quote from him that has stuck with me all these years. Rule number 1, only sell stuff that the market really wants. And rule number 2, always be building your list. Now, for myself, I totally agree with this statement. It made sense to me the first time that I heard it on an intellectual basis, and I believed it to be true. Yet there was still something missing. And sadly, I never fully got it in my bones until my list surpassed 10,000. I kind of equate it to like riding a bike. You know, you can explain to someone about balance and you can get it intellectually and understand it, you know, like here's how the steering works and here's how you kind of balance. But until you actually do it and feel that in your body, it's not fully realized. And so I really want to drive this point home to you, because it's the one thing that if I had to start all over tomorrow from scratch, I'd put the majority of my focus on list building, hands down. And as a matter of fact, since really getting to understand the importance of it, it's become a huge priority in my business. And one of the easiest ways to continually achieve list growth is through giveaways. All right. Now, on the outside chance that some of you may have no idea what a giveaway is, please allow me to define it for you. This is my personal definition of one. A giveaway in its simplest form is a collection of free gifts, usually lead magnets, presented by a variety of contributing guest experts and curated by a single host. And that's it in a nutshell, plain and simple. So let me ask you this. Who here has ever participated in or actually hosted a giveaway? I'm going to put that up in the poll there. Okay, I think folks can see that. And how many of you have hosted your own giveaway before? That's a second poll that we have. We'll pop that up in there as well. Fantastic. Now, I'm not going to go into whether or not each of you had a good experience or a bad experience or even mediocre. What I really want to know is, did you enjoy it? Was it a good experience for you? But more importantly, I have to say this, regardless of your experience, not all giveaways are created equal. And you can get it 98% right and still end up with a failed giveaway. Okay, there's a tried and true method, yet over and over again, I see people running giveaways all the time, doing it wrong, just wasting their time. So I want to share with you the things that you should actually be looking for whenever you get invited to be in a giveaway. And just as a kind of a sample, I get invited to participate in about 20 to 30 giveaways every year. Now, obviously, I've got to be selective about which ones I choose to play in and which ones I say no to. And what I'm about to share with you are the key questions you need to ask, okay? Because again, a giveaway done 98% correctly can still be a disaster. So you've got to ask the following questions, okay? Are you ready? Number one, first off, ask about the commitment. What are the dates? If it falls on dates that my promo calendar is already full, that's an immediate no. However, perhaps more importantly, are the requirements. Okay, it's not unusual for them to ask you to commit to doing 3 emails during the course of the giveaway. And I got no problem with that unless they want all 3 sent in the same week. I'm not willing to hit my list that hard in 1 week for a giveaway. I mean, if I'm promoting my own launch or some other bigger item for myself, I would do that. But in the case of a giveaway, I would pass. And by the way, this is one of the reasons that I always run my giveaways, and we run the giveaways through Infinite List for a 3-week period. It gives lots of times for your partners to email during the course of those 3 weeks without burdening their promo calendar. Next up, I ask, how many contributors are you planning on having? Okay, I actually find it kind of funny that some hosts, they get all excited and they're telling me, oh, we're going to have 50 to 75 contributors, like they think that's going to excite me. And quite honestly, it's the opposite. And here's why. In that scenario, the host is the only winner. They're going to grow their list quite well, as they're going to have 50 or more partners sending leads to it. But the partners themselves are going to lose because their gift is going to get lost in the mix. I found that on average, anyone who opts into a giveaway will only select about 15 to 20 of the available gifts. And if there are only about 25 gifts available, your opt-ins are going to be pretty high. Okay. However, if there are 50 or more gifts, your opt-ins have just been cut in half at the least. Why? List fatigue. People are going to hit the wall, which is why this type of giveaway also causes loss for the people who opt in. For starters, they get overwhelmed with so many options that they just stop even looking. They're probably thinking, wow, do I really want to get added to more than 15 lists here? And the second challenge is probably even worse, is they opt in for so many lists that they get overwhelmed with all of the materials and they never actually open them again. And again, this creates a losing situation for the guest experts, the contributors, and for the participant. And it's why I rarely join in any giveaway that has more than 30 people. And by the way, if you see a giveaway that says we'll be providing categories for the different gifts, that's a red flag that you should consider passing on it. If there are so many gifts that they need to create segments and categorize them, that's way too many gifts. And finally, it's always a good idea to ask who else is participating in the giveaway. What have they set as the criteria? If the host is just letting anyone participate, well, that's another red flag, because that means you may be playing with a lot of people who have no list at all, and you'll be the only one sending any opt-ins. That's not fair to you, especially if you're the one with the rather large list. And this is one of the reasons that at the Infinite List, which I'm going to be telling you a little bit more later about in today's webinar, we balance our giveaways with contributors of proper list sizes in order to maximize the overall results for everyone. Okay, so those are some of the key elements for choosing what has the best chance of being a successful giveaway. Watch out for the more suspicious ones and go for it when the right one comes along. And one other thing that I just can't neglect mentioning when you choose your giveaway is this one, and that is it a good value? Okay, I've found that most giveaways are going for around $250 these days, with a featured spot at about $500. Now, neither of these rates are unreasonable at all unless the host is simply unable to deliver on the value. And by the way, this is another challenge of the host who's looking for 50 or more contributors. They may well be doing the giveaway for the sole purpose of making a quick buck. 50 times $250 is well over $10,000. And frankly, that's far more than their cost of setting it up and putting it all together. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with paying to be in a giveaway, nor is there anything wrong with the host wanting to make a little profit, because they do have a lot of labor involved. The problem to watch out for is if you, as a contributor, are not getting your return on investment. So the bottom line that I always look for in a giveaway is my cost per lead. Am I paying $250 to be in a giveaway where I only get 75 new leads? Well, that's more than $3 each. And in my book, that's way too expensive. Now, I know some of you may be in this webinar and you run Facebook ads, and you might be saying, $30 per lead is an awesome price. I'd even be willing to pay $5. And if we're only talking Facebook ads, I would agree with you 100%. However, in giveaways, I only like to play when I can get them for $2 or less, preferably far less. And by the way, in a little bit, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that, how to get your leads for less than 50 cents each. But first, I'm sure you've heard the expression that the money is in the list. And in the words of another expert that I learned from early on, after 13 years in business, 46,000 students, and 43 million in revenue, I can confidently say when your email list grows, your business grows with it. And that was Amy Porterfield that said that. Maybe you know of Amy. And much like I mentioned earlier, this really didn't show up for me until my list was over 10,000. And perhaps just go back in time a little, especially if your list is still relatively small, maybe you're even just starting out, you've had this experience. And for those of you who've been at it for a while like me, maybe you can remember back to that feeling when you just start to grow your list and maybe you're up to 100 or 200 and then bam, you get a few people who unsubscribe. It's like, no. I remember the first time that happened, I felt devastated. I took it personally. I was like, what did I do wrong? Why have you left my list? And to be totally transparent, it took me a good 2 or 3 years before I finally began to really let go of taking unsubscribes so personally, to really stop worrying about them and just let it go. And part of the big realization that opened that up for me came when I was listening to a talk by Justin Livingston. And he was talking about joint venturing. He asked the audience what percentage of his list had ever bought anything from him. Basically, what percentage had ever spent a single dime on one of their programs? And the answer was about 1%. Seriously, 1%. Now, of course, when you're just starting out, if your list is small, I mean, heck, your list might even be comprised only of people who've ever bought something from you. But I promise you this, when your list gets big, that number, that 1%, will hold true. I ran it for my own list recently, and indeed, it's about 1% that's ever bought from me. And trust me when I tell you this, that's really incredibly refreshing news. Why do I say that? And no, it's not because I'm insane, thinking, oh, good, only 1%. But you can quote me on this. When you let go of worrying about people unsubscribing from your list, you can finally start profiting from it. It's only when you fully get that the magic happens. For one, when you let go of worrying about the unsubscribes, and by the way, they're never going to buy from you anyway, you finally start marketing yourself to them a little bit harder. And two, you start to become a stronger affiliate partner because you let go of that scarcity mentality. That thought that, oh, I can't promote you because I'll get too many unsubscribes. Anyone here ever feel that or ever even say that to somebody? So I want to dig into this point just a little bit better. I reached out to a fellow podcast coach a few years back when I was promoting my online course, the Zero to Launch Podcast Accelerator. And he said he couldn't email for me because it would cut into his own business. Seriously? This was someone who perhaps somehow thought that at some point or another, he'd have 100% of his list buy from him. Maybe even he thought 50% of his list would buy from him. Never gonna happen. As a matter of fact, the talk that Justin Livingston was giving was precisely about that. He was telling the audience why someone else who taught exactly the same thing as him would make the best JV partner. Both directions. Why? Because the one thing he knew about his list was that they wanted to learn to speak from stage. So any partner who also taught that had a pretty good chance of converting at least a small percentage of them into their own offer. And if 99% of your list is never going to buy from you, then why not generate revenue from them by sharing that list with others? And guess what? You're also supporting your list at the same time. For whatever reason, your training just doesn't resonate with them. It's not a fit. So why not help them find the right coach, mentor who can help them along their journey? All of this, by the way, is what makes giveaways so very freaking powerful. Everyone wins, as people are being matched up with interested parties and everybody grows their list at the same time. So when you start to look at your list as a money-making machine, or as Jeff Walker says, like your own personal ATM, you can really turn the corner and start making your business grow. It's what the best in the business do. And when you master it, you'll be right up there with them. Now, of course, getting your list to over that 10,000 threshold can be a challenge. And if you stick around a bit longer, I'm going to show you how to get there with more ease than ever before. Matt Goldfarb said that having a list of dedicated fans and clients is the single most important asset any business can have. And I could not agree with that more. As a matter of fact, whenever I look at another business for possible acquisition, the first thing I look at is the quality and size of their list. Have they been nurturing it, or is it dying a slow, painful death? And if it is revivable, am I able to re-engage that list and get them going? Because the list is so important. And that notwithstanding, what I really want to talk to you about now is the power of the list while it's still in the earliest stages of development. Now, some of you might just be starting out and perhaps maybe even have no list at all. We all started there, and I feel you. We all start at the same spot, which is zero. And if I knew then what I knew now or know now, I'd do so much differently. And that's what I want to share with you now, what I would call our infinite list golden rules. Okay? How can you make money on your list before you've even started growing it? Next, how to make money and get paid while you're growing it. And then how to keep it growing and getting you paid for years to come. Like I said, those are the infinite list golden rules. And maybe even some bigger questions are, would you be interested in getting leads for less than 40 cents each? And perhaps even better, would you be interested in getting leads while getting paid in the process? So if you'll give me your undivided attention for a few more minutes, I'm going to show you how. Now, after running successful giveaways for dozens of entrepreneurs over the last few years, another idea came to me a few months ago. I noticed that I had a lot of repeat contributors jumping into these giveaways. And I even started to get hosts who wanted to do 2 giveaways each year. And just a little sidebar here, but have you ever noticed after buying a new car that all of a sudden you see that car everywhere? Okay, the term for that's called frequency illusion, or the Bader-Meinhof phenomena. And the truth is that there's no increase in the number of that particular car out there. It's just that you rarely noticed it before. And I just throw out this little factoid as an aside and maybe a bit of a challenge. If you've never been in a giveaway before or took advantage of one, and certainly if you've never hosted one, you might not actually notice how many of them are going on. And so maybe it's because of the frequency illusion, or maybe just because I was in that space in the industry, that I started to notice hundreds of giveaways, not just the ones I was running, but those of other entrepreneurs happening everywhere all the time. And it occurred to me there must be a better, more cost-effective, easier way to both host and contribute to giveaways. A way to make the whole process more fun, less hassle, and with better returns on effort than ever before. And so from this simple idea, the Infinite List was born. The Infinite List is a community of like-minded entrepreneurs coming together in mutual support of list growth and business building. And with membership in the Infinite List, you get to participate in as many giveaways as you want while having your own giveaways hosted for you. You also get extra support and training on maximizing your conversions. You get to connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs, and you can network with other members on monthly calls for partnering outside of the giveaways, and a whole lot more, all for one low monthly cost. And as a matter of fact, we've run the numbers, and we found that if you have us handle 2 giveaways for you each year, and you participate as a contributor in 1 giveaway every other month on average, your cost per lead will drop to around 36 cents each or less. Now, that alone is one of the biggest reasons that we've already enrolled nearly 100 members, and we haven't even officially launched yet. Well, actually, we're launching now. This is our first webinar. But still, even at 36 cents per lead, that's a hard cost. Let me be clear on this. The currently discounted member dues for the Infinite List are $100 per month. And that's what's driving that cost. So breaking it down, your $100 equates to 278 leads per month. And if you did that out over the whole year, that's 3,336 new leads per year, given our estimates, which, as I mentioned, are on the low side. Now, the big question, though, is this. How much do you think you could earn with over 3,000 new leads? Remember what I said earlier, only about 1% of your list will ever buy from you. Well, with 3,000 new leads on your list, that should equate to about 30 people who buy from you. Do you think you could make more than the $100 per month in membership dues with 30 sales? 3,000 new leads in my world is worth over $30,000. And I'm betting you could match that or do even better. However, I did say earlier that you could get paid before growing your list. And I wasn't kidding about that one. Another area that I have a big passion for is joint venturing. Okay, and as a matter of fact, with my own list growth over the years, I now show up on leaderboards during launches all the time. And my affiliate commissions are approaching $70,000 annually. So as I was designing the Infinite List, I also wanted to set up an affiliate program that would match my favorite ones out there. So I modeled our program after Kajabi, which is my preferred platform for running giveaways anyway. And at Kajabi, they pay a 30% commission for the lifetime of your referral. In other words, if I refer one person this year, pays $1,000 per year for Kajabi, I make $300. If by the next year I've referred 10 people, I make $3,000. And at some point, if I've referred 100 people, I'm making $30,000 each year, year after year. And at the Infinite List, we do exactly the same. As a paid member yourself, you'll earn 30% commissions on each of your referrals for the lifetime of their membership. You can actually get paid to grow your list. And so I just want to really break this down for you so you understand the math in this. If you refer just 4 people, you'd be getting your $100 membership covered plus $20 left over for you each month. If you refer just 10 members, you'd be making $200 each month while growing your list by thousands every year. And I know for some of you, you'd probably have no problem referring 20 or more people, bringing you to $500 in profit every single month. Okay, that's $6,000 a year, every single year. Okay, do you think you could come up with 2 friends or colleagues each month that might benefit from the Infinite List? If not, by the way, there are some great entrepreneurial groups I'd recommend for you to join, and you'll have more opportunities than you can shake a stick at. So remember, what I'm talking about here is even for those of you who have no list at all, 0, okay, you can simply join the Infinite List and start referring people. Jump into one or more of our 25 plus currently open giveaways to get your list started. Refer some more people, jump into another giveaway. Before you know it, you'll have referral revenue flowing your way and your list size will be in the thousands. And your next step, and one of the easiest ways to get your referrals, by the way, is have the Infinite List run your giveaway for you. Let us do all of the setup and back end labor. You just invite people to be in your giveaway. When they join the Infinite List community, they're in. They can register to be in as many giveaways as they can handle, and you've just got more referral revenue. It's really that simple. You start getting paid while you're growing your list, and then you get paid even more after you've built it up because you're going to be showing up on leaderboards, earning JV commissions from outside partners of the Infinite List community. And one of the best parts of it all is that there's no risk to try it out. Absolutely risk-free. Yes, there are important details in how we run the community to keep it fair and fabulous for everybody. And there are participation rules for being in the giveaways. I mean, you still got to step up and honor your email commitments and such, but the rules are in place to make it a fair community and to stop anybody from freeloading and abusing the system. And here's the deal. You can join the community, learn all about it, sign up to be in a giveaway or 2 or 3 even, and we've still got a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you get in and all of a sudden think it's not for you, you get a full refund, except for any services you may have used. So in other words, you can't sign up, be in a giveaway, and then expect to get 100% of your money back. You'd be responsible for the cost of the giveaway that you participated in. So if you get in and you start to participate, which I don't see why you wouldn't, you can still cancel at any time. There's no long-term contract, no commitment. It's very simple. And our current launch rates are discounted. And they're going to be going up to $125 a month, which, by the way, is still a great deal. But if you get in now, you're going to end up saving a bunch more. I was just chatting with my partner, Krista, earlier this morning, and neither of us could think of a better business investment right now than the Infinite List. And yeah, of course, we may be a little biased since we created it, but the math doesn't lie. At roughly $1,200 per year, if you participate fully, heck, even if you participate half-assed, you should still grow your list by a couple thousand leads, okay? And let's say that not 1% of them buy from you, but just 0.1%, okay? That equates to 2 people, by the way. You would still come out ahead with 2 sales. And by the way, if you can't sell your products, programs, or services to more than 0.1%, then I would also recommend you get some coaching on your offer. But that aside, with a list of 2,000 people, let's say you don't even have something to sell. You could JV partner with Jeff Walker and probably earn more than your investment back right there. I mean, think about it. If 0.1% of your list bought from him, and his program is normally $1,997, and he pays a 40 or 50% commission, but let's just base it on 2 sales. That's 0.1% of your new list purchases from Jeff, and you get a 40% commission. You've just made over $1,500. Okay, it's really simple math. And I have to be clear, I built this membership group as one I myself would want to be a part of. I run it based on my own experience of hosting successful giveaways, and I continually share my knowledge with the community. Our ultimate goal is to create win-win-win situations. Your list grows, the host's list grows, and the people who opt in are getting introduced to the right coaches and mentors who can help them on their next leg of the journey. I'd love to help you on yours. Join the Infinite List today while we've got more than 20 giveaways with their doors open right now, waiting for expert contributors like yourself. And if that's not enough reason to join right now, let me add in a couple of bonuses. And Krista, if I can have you throw up in the poll in the side there, the buy button, that would be fantastic. I want you to be able to get access to purchase right now. But in the meantime, check out these bonuses, okay? Regular membership dues are going to be, as I mentioned just a little bit ago, $125 per month with the first month of onboarding set at $350. But not during the launch. We're going to drop the fees to the founder rates right now, where it's just $100 per month, and the onboarding cost we're going to drop to $250. That's a $400 annual savings. And you won't find this available after our launch is complete. Plus, in running these giveaways, we have a ton of experience with thousands of lead magnets, what's working and what's not, how to make them convert better. And we're throwing in a one-on-one laser coaching call to refine your free gift. After all, the tip of your spear for getting people in the door is your lead magnet. And we're going to help you refine that. And this session alone is a $500 value. So as a bonus right now, we'll work with you on making your lead magnet convert. Become a member today, get on a one-on-one call with myself or Krista right away. Let us help you fix your lead magnet before you jump into one of the many giveaways on the calendar. And if those alone are not enough reasons to take action today, let me add this. You've really got what I consider a ground floor window of opportunity here. The Infinite List is going to catch on pretty fast. And the next thing you know, everyone you talk to will already be a member. Okay? And the thing about that is you're going to have a harder time maybe getting referrals. But beyond that, let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about what happened for us. When we were preparing to launch the Infinite List, we decided to start with about 10 giveaways on the roster. So we figured we'd need to reach out to maybe 25 people we knew who might be interested in hosting these first giveaways. And guess what? We ended up with over 20 immediate members and 26 giveaways on the calendar. Okay, it was crazy. Practically every single person we talked to about it immediately saw the potential for it and how fast it would grow, and they were an immediate yes. And we're in launch mode right now. And what I'm offering you today is the chance to get in early while fewer people know about it, and the chance to get in at our founders rate, saving you hundreds of dollars more. So if you're ready to stop struggling in your business, start growing your list massively, reach more people than ever before, change more lives for the better, and to finally be found, I hope you'll take me up on this offer by clicking on the button on this page and enrolling now. Once inside, you'll get access to our orientation call, get invited to our monthly group calls, be enrolled in our online training course, and most importantly, you'll get access to jump into one or more of the dozens of giveaways on the calendar right now. I look forward to seeing you in the inside, and if you've got any questions, please email them to us, pop them into the chat right now. We're here to support you in this, and we want to make sure that you understand everything you need to about the whole program here at the Infinite List. All right, let's see. We're here to support you in this, and we want to make sure that you understand everything you need to about the whole program here at the Infinite List. All right, let's see. We're here to support you in this, and we want to make sure that you understand everything you need to about the whole program here at the Infinite List. Right. Okay, that was weird. I was getting feedback on this, so I'm going to end the event, and we will answer questions via email. So thanks everybody who attended, or if you're watching the replay.